Everybody hear me okay? Yeah. Sound okay? Hi, everybody. My name is Jennifer Martelli, and I'm a member of the Salem Athenaeum's Writing Committee. I'd like to welcome you to tonight's special event, Write So I Can Hear You. First, I'd like to give some thanks to the Salem Athenaeum, this beautiful space, to Her Story Is, which is a collective led by independent women writers and artists from the United States and Iraq that promotes projects aimed at expanding linguistic, artistic, and cultural boundaries in response to global conflict and its aftermath, with a focus on centralizing the experience of women. Her Story Is the latest in a series of collaborations and exchanges begun in 2010 by playwright Amir al-Azraqi and the artist Anne Lawyer that have brought together artists and scholars from the United States, Iraq, and other parts of the Middle East. In the fall of 2017, women artists from the United States and Iraq began communicating via Skype, email, and blogging. This was before Zoom, I guess, about their art, their lives, and the relation of their art and lives to their countries and to the world. So let's give a special thanks to founding members Anne Lawyer and Amy Merrill, who are here tonight. Thank you both. Thank you to the Center for Arabic Culture and the Creative County Initiative, who have also sponsored this reading and talk by award-winning Iraqi poet, novelist, and journalist, Dunya Mikhail, and American poet and translator, Jennifer Jean. Dunya will read from her newest book, Tablets, Secrets of the Clay, from New Directions. Jennifer, a Salem resident, will discuss and read from her forthcoming books, Where Do You Live, from Arrowsmith Press, and Other Paths for Shahrazad, a bilingual anthology of poetry by Arab women from Tupelo Press. Ode music has been played by Hassan Sawali. Thank you, Hassan. So I had the great honor of reading both Dunya's book, Tablets, Secrets of Clay, and Jennifer's forthcoming, Where Do You Live? As I read these collections, I felt as if I were allowed into a relationship between languages, between cultures, between experiences, between eras. Both poets underscore the love of words, or perhaps even more, the love of communication, of reaching out and speaking to the other until that other is all of us. As a poet, I was struck by the beauty of the writing in these books. The poetry is just really, really good. It's lyrical, and most of all, it's honest. As a citizen of the world, which at times is fraught, I was moved by the humanity and the humility of this work and the hope that it offers to us all. So thank you both for these beautiful words. Dunya Mikhail is an Iraqi-American poet and writer. She is a laureate of the UNESCO Saja Prize for Arab Culture and has received fellowships from the United States Artists, the Guggenheim, and Kresge. Her honors also include Arab American Book Award and UN Human Rights Award for Freedom of Writing. Her books include Tablets, Secrets of Clay, The War Works Hard, translated by Elizabeth Winslow, shortlisted for the International Griffin Poetry Prize, Diary of a Wave Outside the Sea, which won the Arab American Book Award. The Iraqi Nights received the Poetry Magazine Translation Award, and it was translated by Kareem James Abu Zaid. And In Her Feminine Sign was selected as the wildcard choice and chosen by the New York Public Library as one of the 10 best poetry books of 2019. Her nonfiction, The Beekeeper, co-translated by Max Weiss, was a finalist for the National Book Award and was shortlisted for Penn John Kenneth Galbraith Award. The Bird Tattoo, her debut novel, was shortlisted for the International Prize for Arabic Fiction. She currently works as a special lecturer of Arabic and poetry at Oakland University in Michigan. And I'd like to mention too, that the name of tonight's event, Write So I Can Hear You, is taken from Dunya's poem, Eva Whose Shadow is a Swan. Beautiful poem. In her introduction to her book, Dunya writes, I would draw my ideas the way my Sumerian ancestors used to do thousands of years ago. I imagined myself living during that time without an alphabet, needing to record my poetry through drawing. I practiced at least 2 layers of translation in tablets. First from words in one language, Arabic, to another, English, and the second from words to images. What I received from my ancestors are offerings of the future rather of the past. I love this idea of writing and translating across genres, across millennia, across geography. From tablets 8, number 5, Dunya writes, in the time before the invention of writing, a Sumerian mother opened a hole in her clay tablet as if it were a gap in her soul or a window. Thank you, Dunya, for this window, and now Dunya Mikhail.
Thank you so much, Jennifer Martelli, for this wonderful introduction. Thank you all for coming, and I'm also grateful for her story is an mural and lawyer, and also Alma Risha from the Center for Arabic Culture for also sponsoring this with her story is. Thanks for this beautiful space, the Salem Athenaeum. And its president, I heard also about Jean Moray. Thank you all again for coming. So these, I'll read just these are some selections, 24 short sections from the book with the images. These are, I don't know how to draw, but that, as I say in the note, that helps because they are supposed to be primitive, these images, to communicate with that spirit of the ancient Sumerian images, codes, those symbols that were on clay tablets. So I tried to transform some to into our modern everyday matters. The Arabic original is part of the design, so it is there, so as if it's a bilingual book, even though it's not traditional way of like bilingual, but the Arabic is part of the drawing. And also thank you for the beautiful oud music lesson. So happy. On the first morning of the new year, all of us will look up at the same sun. We cross borders lightly, like clouds. Nothing carries us. But as we move on, we carry rain and an accent and the memory of another place. Is the voice good? My paper boat that drifted into the river with the world behind it carried a special note. It may arrive one day, although late, as all truths come late. The sun reveals a hole in the boat, a glow in the fins of fish still breathing. No, I'm not bored of you. The moon too appears every day. The earth is so simple. You can explain it with a tear or a laugh. The earth is so complicated. You need a tear or a laugh to explain. If you can't save people, at least don't hate them. We are not upset when the grass dies. We know it will come back in a season or two. The dead don't come back, but they appear each season in the greenness of the grass. She recites a list of wishes to keep him from dying. The truth lands like a kiss, sometimes like a mosquito, sometimes like a lantern. My flower will not wither. It's drawn in my notebook. I am the plural who walks to you in the singular. What if the guns turned into pencils in the hands of the soldiers so that they can circle all the places on the map as sights to see before they die? They kept drawing circles on the ground as if their alphabet was a feeling with no end. With one click, I can download your smile and everything will be okay. The cage owner reminds the sparrow, life outside is an inferno. One day the sparrow flies away, and there in the heights, overlooking the ruins of the world, the sparrow discovers the cage owner was right. It sings about the ruins, a beautiful song without walls. Every immigrant carries a perforated vase that leaks nostalgia as they very carefully walk as if each drop is their last breath. On another tablet, she drew a vase inside the heart. Did something fill her heart that could not be emptied? Is her heart a void or merely a vase? When I miss my friends, I find them in tree leaves. I see their hands waving from swaying branches. In my old city, when someone dies, they bring a happy word with them to keep them company in the grave. War after war, the happy words were used up. I smuggled one out, imagination. Some poems are complicated, some are silly, some are troublemakers, but all poems have parents who want them to do well. The emptied houses exchanged looks with the departed who kept looking back. A bullet, then a siren, then ruins, then a bird song telling the truth. Every drop of water is a different memory of a river crossed by those we know and don't know. Some who have died, we hide behind our eyes. Some who are living, we hide to keep alive. Some who are friends, bring over the tigress in a cup of tea. Thank you very much. And also thank you for Jennifer Joe, right? Joe, for a beautiful tour in the Salem area and for reading. I'm looking forward now to your reading with Marisha. Thank you all.
Thank you so much, Dunya. That was just wonderful. I could feel the weight of those tablets and sorry. A nice little skin. Wonderful to see them up there. Jennifer Jean's poetry collections include Vose, Object Lesson, and The Fool. Her resource book is Object Lesson, A Guide to Writing Poetry. She's co-written and co-translated the forthcoming collaborative and bilingual collection, Where Do You Live?, with Iraqi poet Hana Akman. As well, she's edited the forthcoming anthology, Other Paths to Shahrazad, a bilingual anthology of poetry by Arab women, which will be out in 2026. Seems so far away, but it won't be. Her poetry, prose, and co-translations appear in Poetry, Rattle Magazine, The Common, Los Angeles Review, Terrain, and On the Seawall. She's received honors, residencies, and fellowships from the Kenyan Review Writers Workshop, the Academy of American Poets, the Mass Cultural Council, Disquiet, and the Women's Federation for World Peace. Jennifer is an organizer for the artist collective Her Story Is, core faculty for Solstice MFA, and she's the senior program manager of 24 Pearl Street, the Fine Arts Work Center's online writing program. And tonight, Jennifer will be reading with Alma Riche, the director for the Center for Arabic Culture in Boston. About Jennifer's book. The epistolary tradition, letter writing, is an ancient and a form that resonates with me. There's something subversive about the form. A letter sent from one person to another, yet intercepted by the reader. As with Dunya's tablets, have we, the reader, been invited in, or have we just happened upon these communications? From Jennifer's collaborative collection with Hana, we are witness to a conversation and friendship that spans continents, oceans, languages, experiences, and to paraphrase Dunya, is an offering of a future. In Hana's letter, Three Tales, she writes, I talked to you, the other, about the way each war documented its history with a hole in my voice until it became a flute. And as if in response, Jennifer writes, let's meet here, Hana, on the original road of this mutual hometown with our translator, Wadap. And once we all get used to the terrible discomfort of imperfect understanding, we'll know heaven, we'll know friendship is possible. Jennifer, thank you for allowing us into this correspondence. Jennifer Jean. Sorry.
Before we begin, I just want to say thank you, Jen. Your introduction was fabulous, and thank you, Dunya, so much for your readings. I definitely get her book. It's available here tonight. It's wonderful to read, and it's very modern. Actually, it's very contemporary. And I also want to thank, we have also here present Jeffrey Levine, who's a publisher at Tupelo Press, who will be publishing the book that Jen mentioned, which is forthcoming in 2026, which is Other Paths for Scheherazade. It's an anthology, so stay tuned for news about that. That book and the book that we're going to be reading from tonight are definitely, I would say, great representative projects of the group Her Story Is, which is the sponsoring organization for those projects and for tonight's event. That organization changed my life for sure, being part of it. So thank you, Anne and Amy. That group represents and fosters peace through collaboration, but more than that, peace through friendship. So that's also what we're going to be letting you in on, is a friendship across oceans and across time, eras, cultures, and also the boundaries that war can create. So here we go. Right. Where do you live? I should say I live in my body, in the knowledge I was fated for, like you said, Hannah, poetry. And even if I try hard not to, I tell all the truth, but tell it slant. I live in these secrets, spelled out for the curious. I live in Salem with the ghosts of accused witches. I live in the San Fernando Valley in California in my poems. I live in fear of loneliness. But my real hometown is anger at the way things are when they should be better. I've decided to move away from should. I want to say I live in peace. If we're talking about time folding into the now, the future being now. At least I live in motion along those folds, sometimes when I'm talking to you, Hannah. When I fly, I think I've always lived in midair, from Boston to Kolkata, from San Francisco to Seoul. I asked a pilot once about the hometown of a baby born mid-flight. He didn't know what to say. He paused forever. He may have been telling the truth, but slant. I'm still waiting for answers. I used to live in wasted days, staring at sunshine and trees. They were wasted on me then, but not now. I live there now in this poem. You can live forever in a poem. I live in the middle of creation when I can. It's the best way to live.
أين تعيشين؟ علي أن أقول إنني أعيش في جسدي، في المعرفة، وكان قدري كما قلت يا هناء في الشعر، وحتى لو حاولت بجدية نافئة أقول كل الحقيقة، لكن أقولها منحنية. أحيا في هذه الأسرار المكتوبة للفضوليين. أحيا في مدينة سالم مع أشباح متهمة بالسحر. أعيش في وادي سان فرناندو في كاليفورنيا. في قصائدي أعيش في الخوف من الوحدة، لكن موطني الحقيقي هو الغضب. كما يجب أن تكون الأمور بطريقة أفضل. قد قررت الانتقال بعيداً عن كلمة يجب. أرغب في القول أنني أعيش في سلام إذا كنا نتحدث عن الانطواء، عن انطواء الزمن إلى الأبد يقبل الآن. على الأقل أعيش في الحركة. على طول تلك الانحناءات أحياناً عند حديثي معك يا هناء، عندما أحلق أعتقد أنني لطالما عشت في الهواء. من بوسطن إلى كالكوتا، من سان فرانسيسكو إلى سيول، سألت طياراً مرة عن موطن طفل ولد في منتصف الرحلة. لم يكن يعرف ماذا يجيبني. توقف إلى الأبد. قد يقول الحقيقة، ولكنها منحنية. لا أزال أنتظر الأجوبة. كنت أعيش في الأيام الضائعة، محدقة بأشعة الشمس والأشجار. كانت تضيع عني حينها، ولكن ليس الآن. أعيش هناك الآن في هذه القصيدة. يمكنك العيش إلى الأبد في قصيدة. أعيش في منتصف التكوين عندما أستطيع. إنها أفضل طريقة للحياة. سيرتي الشعرية. سأخبرك يا جينيفر عني. كنت موجة تائهة أرتطم بكل أغنية ولا أعرف أي طريق إليه، لكن الشعر مد يده لي، رفعني، عرفني بي، صيرني طيرا يتجه نحو الجنوب، الجنوب المسافر إلى حلم أبدي، وجلس يقص علي رحلة الاتجاهات، الأطفال والبالونات الملونة، الوقت الذي يحلقه الصيف، القبعة الهاربة من عروض السحر، الفراغ الذي يتعثر بنا، الحقول التي نسيت مواعيد الحصاد، الجسور التي لا تؤدي إلى شيء، ومواسم توزيع الهدايا مقابل مقابل صوت أو نصف صوت في الانتخابات البرلمانية. ثم يقسم الرحلة بين لي سهراته، أغنياته الحزينة، صباحات كل نساء العالم، دوران القصائد في البحث عني، القصائد المبللة بالحنين، الرسائل الأخيرة في كل حرب. كل هذا لي، نعم لي. ولك أيها الشعر أن
My poetic biography. I will tell you a tale, Jennifer. I was a lost wave crashing into every song, but poetry extended his hands, raised me up, introduced me to myself, made of me a southward bird, migrating to an eternal dream, narrating the journey, the route, the children in vivid balloons, the time that summer burns, the shoddy fleeing from a magician's show, the horror vacui stumbling upon us, the field that forgot its date harvest, the bridges going nowhere, the gift-giving seasons, giving death, pardon, a voice, maybe half a voice in parliamentary elections. Then poetry divided the journey between us. His late nights were mine, his mournful songs, and the mornings of all the world's women, and the spun poems in search of me, poems drenched in nostalgia, the last message in every war. All this is mine, yes, mine, and for you, O poetry, I am. The war I control. Like everyone, my mother protested war, made love to the war, possessing the body of my soldier father. She held him close one dusk and asked about the war. And later, when fright gripped her, said, hide at home forever. He shoved her from their beachside apartment and locked the door. She banged fists on the door, all dusk and into the following day. I remember this, maybe. I listened from my real home, snuggled up to the source of all souls, or from her womb, or from an undefended bunker inside that dark apartment in my half-burnt crib. I imagine in the beginning was the Big Bang, and maybe her last echoing bang at dawn meant her grasp of war was as vast as a droplet of ink in the word, in the line, in the poem, in the book, in the universe-sized library of the war he knew, meant I'm the tail end of a small war between a man and a woman, which is the only iota of war I control.
حرب أسيطر عليه. مثل الجميع عارضت أمي الحرب، أحبت الحرب المتجسدة في جندي، في أبي. في أحد الأيام عند الغسق عانقته وسألته عن الحرب. لاحقاً عندما اجتاحها الخوف أخبرته أن يختبئ في المنزل إلى الأبد. فدفعها من شقتها المطلة على الشاطئ وقفل الباب عليها. لكمت الباب بكفيها طوال الغسق لمطلع اليوم التالي. أتذكر هذا. ربما استمعت من منزلي ململمة ذاتي إلى مصدر كل الأرواح، أو ربما رحمها، أو من قبو غير محصن داخل شقة مظلمة. في مهدي نصف المحترق. تخيلت في بادئ الأمر انفجاراً كبيراً، وربما كان صدى طرقاتها الأخيرة متردداً عند الفجر، ومدى استيعابها للحرب بحجم بقعة حبر في هذه الكلمة وفي هذا السطر وفي هذه القصيدة وفي هذا الكتاب، بحجم مكتبة عالمية لحرب يعرفها. الخلاصة: إنني أثر لنهاية حرب صغيرة اندلعت بين رجل وامرأة، فكنت الذرة الوحيدة لحرب أسيطر عليها. 3 حكايات. أحدثك عن الأرض التي تبلع الأحلام، تبلع أحلام الحبيبات والأمهات وحلوى العيد. الأرض التي تبلع الجنود وتحولهم إلى سواتر ومدن جديدة ونصب مجهول وذكريات طاعنة في الوجع. أحدثك عن الليالي التي أصبحت فيها كل قصائد مغيبة، والزوايا بلا سكينة، والضوء جرحى تنز منه شقاقات لا حدود لها. أحدثك كل حرب وثقت تاريخها تقبل في صوتي حتى أصبح نعم.
Three tales. I talked to you, the other, about a nation consuming the dreams of lovers, mothers, and the holiday sweets of Eid. About the soil swallowing soldiers, turning them to mounds, new metropolises, faceless monuments, and recollections that are obedient to stabbing pain. I talked to you, the other, about nightfalls, turning the poems suspicious, the corners restless, and the light into a wound from which boundless gasps ooze. I talked to you, the other, about the way each war documented its history, with a hole in my voice until it became a flute. Three Tales by Jennifer Zhang. My mom tries to convince me she didn't leave me for 7 years. I'm driving through Salem. This is a dangerous game. To win, I can't play. I can't want to play. I can only grip the wheel, breathe, practice forgiveness, which means shining a light on facts, even though, as you say, Hannah, light becomes a wound from which boundless gasps ooze. A part of my second tale is the tale you didn't tell me, Hannah. I was born on the 4th of July. We dance around this fact, but dancing is how we know each other. The third tale is that I want control when God is in control. Hannah, if we walk Salem streets, talk and feel a warm wind, we did not tell that breeze to touch our hair. Which reminds me of the time technology told me the Arabic word for hair is the Arabic word for poetry, which is a lovely mystery.
3 حكايات by جينيفر جين. تحاول أمي أن تقنعني أنها لم ترحل عني ل7 سنوات. أقود عبر شوارع مدينة سالم. هذه لعبة خطرة، لكني أفوز. يجب أن لا ألعب، يجب أن لا أود اللعب. يمكنني فقط السيطرة على المركبة. تنفسي، اغفري أكثر وأكثر. هذا يعني تسليط الضوء على الحقيقة. مع ذلك، وكما تقولين يا هناء، الضوء يصبح جرحاً تنز منه شهقات لا حدود له. جزء من الحكاية الثانية، الحكاية التي لم تسرديها يا هناء، هي أنني ولدت في 4 من شهر يوليو. نحن نرقص حول هذه الحقيقة، ونحن بالرقص تعرفنا على بعضنا البعض. الحكاية الثالثة هي أنني أريد السيطرة أيضاً، بينما الإله مسيطراً. هنا إذا مشينا في شوارع مدينة سالم وتبادلنا أطراف الحديث وشعرنا بريح دافئة، لم نطلب من ذلك النسيم أن يلامس شعرنا، وذلك يذكرني بالوقت الذي أخبرتني به التكنولوجيا بأن كلمة شعر باللغة العربية هي ذاتها كلمة شعر، وهو لغز جميل. أين تعيشين؟ بايبنا أحمد جابر. لا أذكر اسم أول حرب ولدتني، ربما لم يدونها أحد، ربما يعرف ذلك نهر دجلة، وحده من يعرف الاتجاهات، وحده من يحفظ الخرافات والحقائق التي رافقت جريانه منذ القدم. أعيش هنا في الشمال، حيث كل ذكرى قابلة للوجع. أنتمي إلى النهر، وها أنا عند إحدى الضفتين أقف بعيني المفتوحة وأراقب حطام المدينة القديمة وهو يندثر، وأهمس: يا رب الأزرقة القديمة احفظنا من الحرب القادمة. ها أنا أراقب باب الشمس وهو يعود إلى الحياة، صورة نينوى، تمثال أبي تمام وهو يلوح بالقادمين، الجسور وهي تربط رئتي المدينة، الغيمات وهي مستعدة للمطر بوضوح دون دخان يحجبها. ضفق النهر، هنا جثث حرب توقفه، وكثير من الأرصفة وأشياء أخرى لا تتسع نشرات الأخبار لذكرها، ولا برامج التنمية البشرية، ولا حتى تقارير BBC أو CNN في القنوات. نعم أعيش هناك، بينما تحاول عيني الثانية وهي المظلمة تخبئ أكثر من مشهد عن بشاعة الحرب. لا شيء يساعدني على وصف ذلك، لا حكايات الجدات ولا أحلام الأطفال ولا مهرجانات الشعر ولا كتب النقد ولا أفلام الرعب، لا تقارير الأمم المتحدة ولا أي كتاب يؤرخ لذلك، لا جملة بأي لغة كانت تقوى على حمل تلك البشاعة. أنا أشعر بتورع بعيني من ذلك كله، أشيف علي حمله لأجيال قادمة. ها هو وجهي، ها هو وجهي ينتفخ كذلك، ذراعي، جسدي. يا أنا أتثور، أعاود الانتفاخ من جديد وأربع. أظنني سقطت نحو العالم. الآن ربما تتساءلين يا جنى، من أنت؟ مدينتك الأم. سأجيب فورا، وإحدى عيني لا تزال مغمضة. نحن هاتان العينان معا وإحدى.
Where do you live? By Hannah Akhmed. I don't know the name of the first war that birthed me. Perhaps no one recorded it. Perhaps the tigress witnessed it, alone knowing every direction, alone remembering the myths and the facts, attending its flow since forever. I live here in the north, where memory is bloody sorrowful, where I belong to the river and stand on one bank, one eye open, staring at the ruins of the old city, decaying, whispering, "Oh God of old alleys, protect us from the next war." Here I am, watching the Shamsh Gate, reanimated, the walls of Nineveh, the statue of Abu Tamam waving to arrivals, the bridges connecting the lungs of the city, the clouds eager for rain, unobscured by smoke, the river rushing without bodies of war to stop it, and many more sidewalks and other things breaking news can't mention, nor rehab for PTSD, nor reports from the BBC or CNN, nor any channels. Yes, I live here, while my other eye is closed, hiding dreadful war scenes, with nothing to help me form a description. Not grandmother's tales, nor children's dreams, not poetry festivals, nor literary criticism, nor horror movies, not UN reports, nor history texts. No sentence in any language could bear the weight of that terror. Here, I feel my eyes swelling with it all, carrying the archives for future generations. And here my face swells too, my arms, my torso. Oh, I'm here embracing myself, swelled again and rising. I think I fell upwards as usual. Now, Jennifer, you may wonder, who are you? What is your hometown? And I'll answer immediately, with one eye still closed. We are the two eyes together forever. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you so much, Alma and Jennifer. That was so moving. It felt exactly like reading the book, just being in that space. So thank you both. That big round of applause. Thank you, Dunya, for the presentation. This has been a remarkable evening. And again, thank you for everybody who attended tonight. I'd like to direct you to behind the screen, where you can buy the poet's books, which they'll gladly sign for you. I want to remind you that Jennifer's books are not available yet, but she does have her other collections, Bows and Object Lessons, for sale. So they're there. Thank you so much. Thanks again.